he wants to win. You know, if he feels like he needs to switch things up, is he capable of turning the volume down, of shutting down for a little bit?
I'm not sure that he needs to shut down. I mean, he needs to just trust his reads. I mean,
I will let Phil see it first, so he can say what he would do. I cannot say it myself.
What should he do here?
I would limp
just
in.
Limp call.
Call. All in.
Now you auto
And a
call. That's right.
What do you got?
Qualified.
Oh
Oh,
no!
no.
Tony's got him beat,
You
Phil.
think you got me?
Well, that's exactly what I would have
It's
done.
okay. I
What do you
qualified.
think, honestly?
I think it's a tie.
I think he's lost
Lost?
at the moment.
Wow, what a cooler. I mean, what is
really
going on
is.
here?
Can come from
Check the
behind.
deck. We're
Yeah,
right. Somebody check the machine down there.
So. 10 is good. I need 10 to make it straight, or 5, so.
Right,
I
you
have
want
the time.
Jack Queen on a flop, right? To give be alive. Queen. It's
That's
disappointing
kind of
for the
a
fin.
disappointing flop, yeah.
Now you
Well,
need to get you
basically,
need to get something coming.
Yuha needs a jack or a king to
bit
even
of
be
work on that
drawing
board.
live.
Just a little bit of work.
Or 10.
That's bad.
That's
That's
over.
bike time. On your bike, it's time to go.
And Tony just screams at
I
you
got
on your
revenge.
bike when he busts you. and
Revenge for the
that's
comment.
so brutal for Yuha that has to
Send the
listen to that.
businessman back. I send the pros back. It just shows you that even the rabbits can get the pros.
It hurts, you know, as you're leaving, and you're like, wow, this guy's really rubbing it in. But then you realize it's Tony, and you say, all right, that's just part of the show.
Yeah, I sent Tony to Donkey Heaven when I sent him to the heads-up matches. I thought there's a big chance that he's not going to come back, but he did, and he busted me out. Well, congratulations, Tony.
There can only be one champion. And Phil, if you went through the entire poker world, I don't think you could find two guys who want it more than this. On one side, Tony G. Last year, he was scorned, he was abused, and look who's laughing now. And on the other side, J.C. Tran, over from America. He brought a posse with him for one reason and one reason only, to take the trophy.
Well, I mean, I think that J.C. Tran is the favorite heads up, even though he has less chips at this point. I think that Tony G is going to have to deal with J.C. who's going to want to play small pot poker. He's going to want to limp in with hands. And Tony, who should want to play big stack poker, but may have too much ego and think that he can actually beat J.C. at small pot poker.
Playing for you, Phil.
Who is going to set the tone first? Tony
Well-
really has a lot to prove right here at this
Alright.
table. You know,
I mean,
Interesting.
you know, he,
Was a
wow,
big win
just
for
called,
Kings.
wow.
Wow. Still good to get it. Kings, aces.
so JC's
Hasn't been
idea
that
here
high.
is to trap Tony, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flops that are just really good for him,
Check.
and I wouldn't be surprised if he
Check.
decided to check too. So he's just going to take a very conservative, cautious approach, and just kind of wait for, you know, Tony to make some mistakes. And
40,000.
This is exactly what JC has been waiting for. Just
Call.
turn the top pair, let Tony hang himself, give Tony a chance on the river. Tony's drawn dead right now.
yep, Tony's drawn dead, and JC, you know, has won the spot already. So
Check.
And then one reason to bet here is he doesn't want to show him the ace, really, unless he has to.
yeah, well, he's betting for sure. It's just a matter of how much.
$75,000.
Tony's thinking about calling him with a
He-
queen
He
high.
called
Wow.
him. He called him with queen high.
Well, I mean, he could beat 7-8, he could beat 4-5, he could beat 5-7, he could beat a spade draw. And he didn't show JC the hand, but JC, that's why JC is playing small pot poker, to allow Tony to make mistakes. And with that pot, you know, they've become much closer in chips.
Bill, there ain't much in it right now. A very narrow lead for G.
Call.
This is the way JC's going about his business, Phil.
Of course. He has to play small pot poker until Tony makes him adjust.
Raise 40,000 more, 60,000 total.
From what we've seen, JC's only going to call
Call.
here, isn't he? Yep.
Yeah. But I think Tony's probably right to raise with King 4. He wants to play big pots with the worst hand.
Second pair for JC Tran. Nothing for G. Pot's going to start getting
20,000.
pretty big. He can't fold. Can he raise?
No, he can't raise. Can't open the door for the re-raise.
Call.
And if Tony G has the heart and commitment on the turn here, Phil, what do you think? Oh,
Wow, how about a
card.
king on the turn?
what a card.
Wow, that's just sick.
25,000.
He was really good at reevaluating before. He's passed when he's beat before.
No, he has to call. There's no question he's going to call here.
Call.
I mean, he set up the hand that way. If you're going to play that way, you can't lay it down, and that's part of small pot poker theory. So he needs an ace or an 8. Spade's good because he doesn't lose any more money.
Tony's not worried about a higher, better king here. He shouldn't be, or should he?
This is 6. See, now JC has a pretty bad feeling, but he knows pretty much. I mean, he's committed to the hand now. I mean, it's just real difficult lay down here.
He's going to take his time here. Phil, can he get any kind of read off Tony?
I mean, it came 7-8 jack, and Tony bluffed with absolutely nothing. And I think if JC read that weakness, then he has to worry about only a king and only a spade draw. And by now, he's like, this sucks, but I think he has to call. I mean, I think this would almost be a great laydown.
Call.
King.
He had to call.
King Kong.
He had to call. I mean, it's just the way the hand
Small
set up,
pickup.
the flow of it, where he had to call, and you just can't blame him. I think that would have been a great laydown because he set up Tony.
That's what
When
he
you
did.
set a guy up and they hit that
What do
miracle
businessmen
card,
get? They get
you
pots
just have
like
to
this,
pay
you
him.
know, with King 4. It's the best we can get. Giving you enough leverage to move all in. Now that's when it takes heart and commitment. Like I'm teaching the best players
And
in the world how to play.
what does JC
They
have to
crash
do?
on the
Is
side.
there going to come up? It just feels like, Phil, that he has to draw the line in the sand.
I work
He knows that. I
mathematically.
mean, this guy's been everywhere.
Call.
Check.
this is a long ways from over. JC knows the blinds are only 10-20, and it's just a long ways from over. So
I got 10,000
He's
back.
had Tony in some tough spots, but Tony
Check.
keeps wriggling out.
20,000. Call.
Check.
He's gonna
Check
gonna
out.
make Tran dig deep here, isn't he?
yeah,
Make him dig really deep.
Check.
7. 7 would make JC a straight, and Tony's betting the dark
1,000
here.
dark.
he's just smothering them, and really, it's going to be tough for. Wow, are you serious? Look at this. Now JC's incredibly happy that that card came, but at the same time, he's going to be upset that he can't get called.
But Phil, that was the lightning bolt. That was the
That
manna
could be
from
it,
heaven.
right there. I mean, that could be it.
Raise. Pass.
Didn't qualify.
It was a card from outer space for JC, but you know what? He'll take whatever he can get, Phil.
Well, that card
There's an awful
card
down
made
there.
up for the King 4, so
It's like
now they're
helmets
kind of
pretend
more on
so
a
much.
level field here.
I won't pretend.
JC
One
still
try?
a 3-2 chip disadvantage,
One
but
try.
believe me, he
Yeah.
feels like
Let's
he's
see.
ahead.
Check
Getting
it.
off the floor like that.
One try.
And look at this. Tony G's trying to play small pot poker. He just checked with ace high.
That's pretty deceptive. I mean, if an ace comes, Tony may be getting paid off here, huh?
Yeah,
5,000.
I mean, really, if it would have come ace king, Tony could have gotten a lot of chips because there's no way JC
I
thinks
checked
he's
dark.
playing small pot poker.
That is a scary board. You got the nuts.
Ace or 3 for G. Now, will Tran value bet here? Looks like it.
55,000.
And Tony's been paying him off. He's been paying him off, Phil.
He really has. I mean, he's been letting him trap him and trap him and trap him, and he just keeps paying.
And now JC's starting to get the idea here. He needs to make these bets on the river in small pot poker,
Yeah.
right? He needs to.
And now Tony G's starting to pay off like a slot machine.
We
Yeah,
just,
the
we
food,
just stayed in the
but this
hotel and
is-
ate all day. The
When you
hotel
play
didn't
small
do
pot
it.
poker, you almost always have it when you bet.
Tran's narrowing the gap.
Now that's better for Tony G.
Raise.
Raise it up with the 8-6.
75,000 total.
Jeez, they've got nearly They got very similar hands here.
Wow, this could be huge for JC here.
This pot's big, Phil. This
And-
pot's 150K.
Yeah, a little deuce 3-8, and it might be over.